Okay, so this question we're not given a calculator, so we need to know the exact values or the exact value of cos 45. Now there are a number of values you need to know off by heart, or 14 to be exact, and there's really easy methods to remember them. So I'm going to go through the main method now. So we're going to start off with sine. I know it says cos in the question, but I'm going to go through all of them. And the first thing you do is just write down the numbers 0, 30, 45, 60 and 90. And we're going to do each one one by one. So I'm going to start with 0. And all I need to do is square root the amount of numbers on the left, which is 0, and put it over 2. Now, square root of 0 is 0, and anything divided by 0 is just 0. So that's a nice easy one to start. So let's move on to sine 30. So the numbers on the left is one number. Put that over 2. And root 1 is just 1, so it's just 1 over 2. We go on to sine 45. Numbers on the left, well, there's 2. And so that's root 2 over 2, and you can't do anything with that. Sine 60. 3 numbers on the left this time, so root 3 over 2. And finally 90. So there's 4 numbers on the left, so root 4 over 2. Now root 4 is 2, so it's 2 over 2, which is just 1. And that's sine done. Now cos, it's exactly the same thing. We're going to write out the numbers. And this time, instead of going left, we're going right. So numbers on the right, there are 4, so root 4, and it's always over 2. Root 4 is 2, so 2 divided by 2 is just 1. So cos 0 is 1. And this time we're going right, so there are 3 numbers on the right there. Over 2, can't simplify that. And there are 2 numbers on the right here. So root 2, and always over 2. And we are only left with 1 number on the right here, so root 1 over 2, which is just 1 over 2, because root 1 is just 1. And here we are left with 0 numbers on the right, so root 0 over 2, which we know is just going to be 0. Tan's the more difficult one, as it always is. So we go through the same process. Now tan being awkward, and tan is always awkward, what we're going to do is we're going to square root the numbers on the left and put it over the square root of the numbers on the right. So square root the numbers on the left, which is 0, and put it over the square root of the numbers on the right, so root 4. Now anything, when we've got 0 at the top, anything divided by it is just going to stay at 0. So quite easy one to start. Okay, let's do tan 30. So numbers on the left, well there's 1 number on the left, over the numbers on the right, so root 3. So that's going to be 1 over root 3. Now be careful with this one, because you might look at revision guides and it might put the answer as root 3 over 3. All they've done there is rationalise the denominator. They've just times top and bottom by root 3. It is the same number. Okay, let's move on. So next, tan 45. So numbers on the left, there are 2 numbers on the left, so root 2, and 2 numbers on the right, so root 2. Anything divided by itself is just 1, so that's a nice easy one. Tan 60. Numbers on the left, root 3, so 3 numbers on the left, over numbers on the right, which is 1. So root 3 over root 1. Root 1 is just 1. So that's just going to be root 3. And now, just to finish off, we're going to do this 90. Now, the problem we have here is, yes, we can do the top, but we've got 0 numbers on the right. Now, whenever we have a 0 at the bottom, well, we can't do that. It's infinity or whatever you want to call it. So you're not actually going to be asked this one, because there's no finite value. You can't get a number for it. So going back to our question, it says find cos 45. So cos 45 is this one, And we've got the answer of root 2 over 2. Now, the method that I've shown you here can be done on your fingers, which is why it's exciting, because there's 5 different values and you have 5 different fingers. And so what you can do is you can put the finger down that corresponds to the value you're trying to find, whether it's 0, 30, 45, 60 or 90, and count the numbers on the left for sine, count the numbers on the right for cos, and then obviously root them and put them over 2. And for tan, you count the numbers on the left and root it, and put it over the numbers on the right and root it.